Hey everybody, this is Cromar with TGN, bringing you another World of Warcraft Cataclysm beta video, and this is a incredibly futile attempt at trying to defeat Valiona and Theralion on hard mode. Yes, they just unlocked Bastion of Twilight hard mode today, and we decided to go in and get slaughtered by the bosses. Now, they opened the door so we could skip Halfus. We spent some time on him, and we are going to put up a video for him as well, but for now, this video is about Valiona and Theralion, Double Dragon, V&T, Pink and Blue, whatever, and how difficult they are. So I'm playing on a Shaman because they buffed Shamans a bit, so they do actual, a decent DPS, whereas they were pretty much underpowered before. Our tank here is Tally, our newest member of TGN. He's going to be bringing some more videos in the channel, and we decided to go ahead and have him tank this. So we're going to pull Valiona. Now, the interesting thing is that the fight starts pretty much exactly the same as normal mode. So it gave us a false sense of security. We're like, oh, this isn't bad. Yeah, there's some extra damage, but that's okay. We can handle that. The new pre-mades are decked out in 359 epics, pretty much the best gear that's available in the game right now, as far as I know. So that's tells us that we're certainly not under-geared for this. As you can see, the raid damage is just enormous. Also, if you look closely in the raid window, you're noticing a guy offline. We're actually 9-manning this. Partly we didn't want to waste time re-recruiting somebody because the futility of it all. Really, what's the point? We know we're not going to kill these guys. We just want to have some fun, see the new boss mechanics. So as you can see, as I've been rambling on here, we've done about 3 million damage to this boss, and nothing really happened except for a lot more AoE damage than usual. Nothing we can't handle though, right? So it's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. Things are going to start getting real hairy real quick. At this moment, there is a stacking debuff on the tank, and we didn't understand what it did yet. We had to kind of figure it out, the hard way. It's called Twilight something or other. But what happens is when the debuff stacks to 5, and it stacks about once every 20 seconds, then the debuff sends the tank into the Twilight Zone, as well as several raid members around him. So and you can't prevent this, by the way. Not with 2 tanks. You can do it with 3. The way the timing works, it's actually a 2-minute duration debuff. And when I first saw that, I guess I suck at math because I thought you could do it with 2 tanks, but you can't. You won't drop off with 2 tanks. Now, on our first attempt here, we actually all ran into the Twilight Zone and died just because we want to see what was different. We did see the sentries in there, and those are who you have to kill, and it's actually part of the encounter now that you have to enter the Twilight Zone and kill these sentries. And on our next attempt, I will go into a little bit more detail about that. By the way, if you're confused by all this and you don't know anything about this fight, we do have a video about the normal mode that explains the mechanics, the basic mechanics, and this video is mainly intended to show what's happening in hard mode as a first look. But anyway, so I mentioned before that it's not really possible to avoid getting sent to the Twilight Zone, and also, by the way, I switched to a warrior tank because we realized we need 2 tanks for this. I'm stacking up, as you can see in my little debuff slot on the side, I've got 3 stacks of the debuff there. Twilight Shift, oh, nice little convenient mouse, good job at past Cromar. Anyway, so there's a nice little Twilight Shift stacking up to 3. When it gets stacked up to 5, I'm going to get warped into the Twilight Zone. It's unavoidable. And what's going to happen is, the funny thing is that will get stacked to 5 at the exact moment that the swirlies for the Twilight Zone appear. And what I need to do is I need to have a team, basically a squad of anti-Twilight Zone people, stack up on me, and when the debuff hits 5, it actually affects them too. It has a range of like 5 yards or 8 yards, I think. So all the people who go with you stack up on you. So here I go into the abyss, as it were, and there's a sentry. Oh, and I died already. Okay, so I died so fast I couldn't do anything, but if you saw there for a split second, there was a dragon there, a sentry, and you got to kill those guys and jump in a portal to escape. Now, you're probably wondering, why bother? I mean, only the tanks sent in there, right? Well, first of all, the tank can't escape without killing the sentries, as far as I know. I could be wrong about that, but I'm about 99% sure we have to kill them for the tank to escape. But that's not the most important thing. The most important reason is that those stupid sentry guys actually hit you in the normal realm with an AoE. The other thing is those little twilight spheres, those little exploding things, they start appearing in the real realm as well. So you actually have to go into the Twilight to kill them as part of the encounter now. Instead of being merely an obstacle to avoid, it's actually part of the encounter. It's actually something you have to do. There's also some really other wacky stuff that's going on, like we have more than one person getting hit by engulfing magic at the same time, and we have blackouts coming on the raid at the same time as engulfing magic. So one ability says get out of the raid, the other says get in the raid. I don't know. It's a freaking mess, but it was a lot of fun. So this is the last attempt I'm going to show you here. It's one where we probably had the closest thing to almost progress, but not really at all. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like we did well. We actually failed pretty hard every single attempt. But this one started out, you know, like always, it started out good. The damage wasn't too bad on the raid. It was just a little bit higher than usual, and we were able to handle it with our geared healers. But it's not going to go very well. What we're going to do is when the Twilight Zone pops up, once we get to 5 stacks, Tally is immediately going to taunt the boss. Now that's why I said we wanted 2 tanks. Tally's going to be picking up the boss the moment that I get knocked into the Twilight Zone, which is coming up here in just a little bit. We also have the team ready. They're going to jump in with me. We're going to go kill that sentry. It's all going to be great, right? We got it all organized. We got it all planned. And it makes sense in our heads. It makes perfect sense, right? But it's not that easy. It's just not. But it's a lot of fun. Notice the bosses, by the way, have 45 million health instead of 30 million. So in addition to all the damage and the fact that they switch so much faster and they switch constantly, and the abilities come faster, and there's twice as many engulfing magics and all this stuff. I mean, that's all just adds up. I mean, it's really just nasty, incredibly nasty. Don't get hit by this breath, by the way. I mean, that's just a tip of the day. Don't stand in that breath. Anyway, so I'm at 4 stacks, getting real close. Should be hitting it in just a second. Okay, here we go. So the spinny swirlies come out. I get warped into the zone with my 5 stacks. There's a sentry, and there's an orb on top of the sentry, and it hits me and blows me up. Those little landmine things. Are you kidding me? What the hell am I supposed to do about that? I mean, I can't even attack the mob with because there's an orb right on top of it, and the other orbs are traveling into it. Holy crap. I mean, seriously. That is hard, and I'm glad it's hard. I'm glad it's not easy. I'm glad that we couldn't beat it here, you know, on our stupid first attempt, or even do well on it, because we're it's not that we're bad. We are good. It's just that this, you know, we're just kind of running in blind and guessing how to beat the encounter. So we should get destroyed. But I just can't believe that that there's the landmine spawn directly on top of the mobs you have to tank. I don't know what's going on with that, but. Clearly we were missing something, or perhaps we just suck. It's probably the sucking thing. I know that having me in charge of the hard job is probably a bad idea, but anyway, so that's our Valiona Theralion Double Dragon V&T Pink and Blue on hard mode. That's us getting destroyed by them. So this is just a first look, and we will be having more hard mode videos coming soon. Thank you for watching. As always, this is Cromar with TGN asking you to please rate, please comment, and please subscribe.